Imagine a king so powerful, his empire stretched from the heart of India all the way to Central Asia. A ruler whose coins were found from the shores of Britain to the bustling markets of China. This wasn't a Roman emperor or a Chinese dinar. This was Kanishka the Great, an emperor of the Kushan dynasty, whose story is one of the most fascinating, yet often overlooked, chapters in world history. Who was this enigmatic king? Where did he come from? The Kushans themselves were originally a nomadic people from the steppes of Central Asia, known as the U. After a long migration, they settled in Bactria, what is now parts of Afghanistan and Tajikistan, and consolidated their power. From Tispase, they swept into northern India, forging one of the most influential empires of the ancient world. Kanishka's rise to power is shrouded in mystery. We don't have an exact birth date for him, but scholars believe he ascended to the throne around the year 127 AD. This year marks the beginning of the Soka era, a calendar system that he is often credited with establishing and is still used in parts of India today. His accession wasn't just a change of ruler, it was the dawn of a new age, an age of unprecedented trade, cultural fusion, and religious transformation. From his capital, Pirushipura, modern-day Peshawar, in Pakistan, Kanishka ruled over a vast, multicultural empire. Think about it. This single kingdom connected the Roman Empire in the west with the Han dynasty of China in the east. The legendary Silk Road ran right through his domain. This wasn't just a trade route for silk and spices. It was a superhighway of ideas, art, and beliefs. Roman gold flowed into India, while Indian philosophies and religions traveled westward and eastward. Kanishka's empire was the ultimate melting pot of the ancient world. You can see this incredible diversity reflected in the coins minted during his reign. Some coins depict Greek gods, like Helios, the sun god. Others feature Zoroastrian deities from Persia. And, most significantly, many show images of the Buddha. This wasn't just a political move. It was a reflection of the vibrant, tolerant society. Kanishka, he was a patron of many faiths, but his name would become inextricably linked with one, Buddhism. Stay with us, because what Kanishka did for Buddhism would change the course of world religion forever. We're about to dive into how this warrior king from the steppes became one of the greatest champions of a faith founded on peace and enlightenment. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back. Before the break, we talked about Kanishka the Great and his vast, multicultural empire that served as the crossroads of the ancient world. Now, let's explore his most enduring legacy, his profound impact on Buddhism. While Emperor Ashoka is famous for spreading Buddhism within India centuries earlier, Kanishka was instrumental in transforming it into a major world religion. He was a devout follower, and his patronage went far beyond simply building monasteries. Around the year 127 AD, shortly after his accession, Kanishka convened the Fourth Buddhist Council in Kashmir. This was a monumental event. Hundreds of a new, more devotional form of Buddhism called Mahayana, or the Great Vehicle. This school of thought introduced the idea of bodhisattvas, enlightened beings who delay their own nirvana to help others achieve salvation. Mahayana Buddhism made the religion more accessible and appealing to the common person, and it was this version that would spread like wildfire across Central Asia, China, Korea, and Japan. Thanks to the trade routes Kanishka controlled. But Kanishka wasn't just about councils and doctrines. He was a builder. He commissioned the construction of the Kanishka Stupa in his capital Peshawar. Ancient travelers, including the famous Chinese pilgrim Xuanzang, who visited centuries later in the 630s AD, described it as a wonder of the world. Standing over 600 feet tall, this magnificent pagoda-like structure was one of the tallest buildings in the ancient world, adorned with precious jewels. It was said to house sacred relics of the Buddha, making it a major pilgrimage site. Sadly, only the foundations of this incredible structure remain today, excavated in the early 20th century. Kanishka's reign also saw the flourishing of a unique style of art known as Gandhara art. This style was a beautiful fusion of Greco-Roman realism and Indian Buddhist themes. For the first time, the Buddha was depicted in human form, often with features reminiscent of a Greek god, complete with a toga-like robe. These statues and reliefs, carved from stone, created a powerful and relatable image of the Buddha that helped spread the faith even further. The artists of Gandhara, working under Kanishka's patronage, essentially gave a face to Buddhism that would be recognized across the globe. Think of Kanishka's empire as a giant cultural laboratory. Greek artistic techniques, Persian administrative practices, and Indian spiritual wisdom all mixed together under his rule. He was a master of cultural synthesis. He adopted the title Shahin Shia, or King of Kings, a Persian tradition, and Ivan Kasara, a nod to the Roman Caesar, showcasing his awareness and ambition on the world stage. His administration was sophisticated. He maintained two capitals, the summer capital at Kapisi, near modern Kabul, and the winter capital at Bishan. This allowed him to effectively govern his diverse and geographically challenging empire, from the scorching plains of India to the high mountains of the Hindu Kush. He understood that to rule such a vast territory, he needed to be more than just a conqueror. He had to be a unifier. So we have a warrior king who establishes a new calendar, a savvy politician who controls the world's most important trade route, and a devout patron who revolutionizes a major world religion. But Kanishka's story doesn't end there. The end of his reign, like its beginning, is shrouded in legend and mystery. How did this powerful emperor meet his end? One popular legend, recorded in later texts, is particularly dramatic. It's said that as Kanishka grew older, his military campaigns became more ambitious and perhaps more ruthless. His own generals and ministers, weary of constant warfare, grew resentful. The story goes that they conspired against him. While the king was sick and confined to his bed, they smothered him with a quilt, a rather inglorious end for such a mighty emperor. Of course, this is just a legend, and we have no definitive historical proof of how he died. What we do know is that Kanishka's reign likely ended around the year 150 AD. He ruled for about 23 years, a period that left an indelible mark on history. After his death, the Kushan Empire continued for another century, but it never again reached the zenith of power and influence it had under Kanishka. Later, rulers faced increasing pressure from the Sassanid Empire in Persia and internal challenges. Eventually, the once mighty Kushan Empire fragmented and faded into the annals of history. But Kanishka's legacy endured. The Mahayana Buddhism he championed became the dominant form of the religion in East Asia. The Gandhara art style he promoted influenced religious art for centuries. The trade routes he secured continued to foster exchange between East and West long after his empire crumbled. Kanishka the Great is a testament to an era of incredible global connection. Long before the age of the internet or air travel, he was a ruler who stood with one foot in Central Asia and the other in the Indian subcontinent, looking both east and west. His story reminds us that history is not a simple narrative of isolated civilizations, but a complex, interwoven tapestry of migration, trade, and cultural exchange. He was a nomad king who became an Indian emperor, a warrior who became a champion of peace, and a pivotal figure whose influence can still be felt across Asia and the world today. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back in time to explore the life and legacy of Kanishka the Great. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into fascinating historical figures. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you next time.